Hi there, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Tuesday's Talk with Grada. So happy to be spending the next 20 minutes with you again, every Tuesday minute, every Tuesday at the same time. I like to spend 20 minutes with my clients or audience. If you're new to my Facebook Live, my name is Grada Robertson. I'm a published author of 3 books that you can see behind me, and I've also been working as a healer and coach and an intuitive healer for many years, more than 2 decades now, and seen lots of clients. So I like to hang out as a little bit of a thank you and show you my gratitude to all the beautiful people that have been in my life and that are in my life, my community, in my tribe. And so feel free to scroll down or check out my videos on YouTube as well, where I share things that I believe are helpful to you. This week I want to talk about trauma again. So trauma energy, unresolved trauma in your tissues, like I like to say, you have issues in your tissues. Unresolved trauma creates drama. Just remember that. So hands up if you have had your fair share of drama in your life. That used to be me. In fact, I've written 3 books about all the drama that I have encountered in my life. And when some people read my first book, they go, well, that's a bit dramatic, isn't it? So my first book is called You're the Miracle, How Being Hit by a Truck Saved My Life. And I literally actually got hit by a truck. So unresolved trauma creates drama, right? So if you are and have a lot of drama in your life, or if people call you a drama queen or drama king, or it's not really what you want, that means you have to start healing your traumas, your traumatic experiences that are in your tissues, and I will explain a little bit about that today. Because the energy of drama is the opposite energy of abundance. And so as a coach or healer, I want abundance for everyone. I want it for myself, I want it for you, and I want it for my children, I want it for everyone in the whole world, right? If each one's nervous system is like healed and like reset, then we can all receive abundance. But if we don't do our inner work and imagine by some sort of miracle all the money in the world was redistributed right now, and so everyone was given $1 million. Some people actually believe that if all the money in the world was redistributed equally, every single soul that lives today would receive $10 million. Well, so it's somewhere between $1 million and $10 million, right? So what would happen now if you didn't heal your traumas? Within a month or a couple of months, you're back to square one. Everything would be the same again, because literally the money that we have in our bank account or our equity is a photocopy of our nervous system, and we literally have a ceiling or a cap in our nervous system or your subconscious mind that dictates how much money we can handle in our life. The same goes for our health, by the way. So if you always have aches and pains, but that's easier to relate to some sort of trauma. Trauma is at the heart or the root of everything, right? And so for many years I focused on health and wellness. My clinic is called the Purple House Wellness Center. And then I started to realize, hang on a minute, all these people that I keep seeing, their financial situation is also causing their health problems. So it's like your health goes up, then your wealth goes up, and it's like these two things literally like Siamese twins, right? So your well-being, everything works together. It's all coming from the inside of you. And today I'm going to take you through a quick meditation that will just help release some of the things that are causing you to stay in a holding pattern of too much pain or too much scarcity. The gap always remains between you and your dreams. right? So there is actually a saying that goes, the gap between where you are now and your dreams is action, like that gap is shortened by taking action. Well, I agree with that. Taking action is really, really important, like deciding to book in for a session or taking action to change your situation. But if you don't heal the trauma, then taking action in itself is still not going to help you. So how I work with trauma, I heal the trauma from every part of your being. So there are many parts of us like this: the spiritual, mental, emotional, physical part. So then you have your inner children, and your inner children, they can be split into many, many more inner children. We can travel down your timeline all the way into your ancestry, which is very important. That's definitely something that I do all the time with every single one of my clients, because our money, our health and wealth patterns are basically locked in from our ancestry until we get some awareness around it. It's not going to shift, right? So even if you hear nothing from today's session, you could just take some time tonight maybe and scribble a few things down of what you remember of your mom and dad and your grandparents on either side, or maybe your uncles and aunties or your siblings. Start with your closest family. What does them mean? How are their finances looking? What is their lifestyle allowing them to do? What and their health as well, because all of this is energy, traumatic energy that flows down the line into your body, into the issues in your tissues, and they're being expressed today. And I'm sure you can think of many experiences that you can connect to your ancestors, right? So what happens when you have a trauma? It's like, a trauma doesn't have to be a huge thing, but I want you to know I do deal with the very deepest, darkest traumas that people experience, especially in their childhood. And even if you don't remember it, it's still stuck in your subconscious mind, running away there like a little program that's activated, and that program needs to be pulled out and stopped. Otherwise you're like a computer that has 110 programs running around and draining your energy. So let's just say something happens when you are, I'll just use an example. So when I was 5 years old, and this is just a very shallow example, right? We went for a holiday to Belgium. This was all very exciting. That was the neighboring country, the first time my parents went on a holiday. And as a little souvenir, I was given a bouncy ball. So I remember, this is like 55 years ago. My parents didn't have a lot of money, and I'm eating a bouncy ball. That was like my memory of that amazing holiday that we had. And so when I went to primary school, back to school the next day, I was bouncing a ball around and playing with my friends. And an older girlfriend, so she was a grade ahead of me, she took it off me, and then she bounced it around with her girlfriend, and then she chucked it over the fence, and it was gone forever. So let's say that's a trauma, right? And I couldn't do anything about it. There was no point telling anyone, or I probably didn't tell my parents either. And so that then goes underground into my body, and then it might get triggered like something else, like I was feeling helpless and overpowered, and then I just felt resigned. And so then that goes into the filing cabinet with a big label, I feel resigned, on it, right? Have you ever felt resigned about anything? You decide, well, I'll just walk away from the situation, or I have to stay in the situation, I have to put up with it. Feeling resigned is basically like a mini death, and it actually means quiet desperation. And lots of humans live in quiet desperation because they're stuck in situations that causes them pain, and they feel hopeless about it. So the opposite of despair would be hope or confidence or protection or something like that, right? Despair, so if you think of resignation, that just means you're despairing all the time in the background. And so when I clear that energy out of your body, we have to fill it up with the opposite energy. So the opposite would be, I feel empowered, I feel liberated, I feel protected, I feel taken care of, I'm doing life my way. You can think of your own word or Google what would be the opposite to that. So basically that meant that trauma energy, I couldn't deal with it. The body snap locks it into a little snap lock bag, puts it somewhere in my subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is, by the way, huge, so it's able to carry many, many traumas. But usually till we're about, when we get to age 40, we start to get triggered, like things trigger us, and then people come to me for healing, right? Which is a good thing, by the way. We can start working backwards. So what happens? It stays frozen or locked in your nervous system. So what happens then, if you have too much trauma in your body, it's like you almost become very, very numb. It's like you're numbed out. So, for instance, you might go to somebody's funeral, and it might be somebody that you were close to, and it's a really like heartbreaking thing, but you literally can't cry anymore because your emotions have gone into a state of numbness. And so the problem with that is that it drains your resources every day because your body is trying to block it, push it under, resist the memory from coming up, right? And then in the end you have more and more memories. It would be like imagine a bowl of popcorn and all the memories start popping up. And you have to clamp the lid. That takes a lot of energy, right? And then that's often, if you don't start working with your trauma or find a healer or a coach, you might get sick. That happens a lot of the time as well. So once the healing begins, and if you work with an experienced healer, that can happen very, very quickly. It's like a lot of those pockets of trauma energy defrost, and then people will cry. They will often already cry when they walk into my room, because I guess they realize on a deeper level that something is going to shift and it's already starting to let go. And then you feel this incredible lightness. Suddenly it's like new spaces open up in your body. And now you can write your own script, like how do you want to live your life? You want your life to be different to your parents or to your primary caregivers or people who put their programming into your subconscious mind. Because what you need to realize is that between conception and age 7, we basically photocopy machines. Everything that is portrayed around us goes into our computer. There is no filter. It just goes in, and that becomes our normality, our foundation on which we base our reality, right? And that's, our parents did the same, and so on. So, and then to top it off, every day, 90% of our thoughts are the same as the day before and the day before. So like, it's a given then that the way you think today might have been how your ancestors were thinking in the Dark Ages, in the 1500s, right? And so there are better ways to live your life. That's really what I'm all about. So I work with a lot of women, and I'm running out of time, but I quickly want to give a special mention to women with ADHD, because recently I did some research into women with ADHD, and what I found out was that the percent and ADHD, in my own private opinion, is again to do with traumatic issues stuck in your tissues, and it's like your nervous system is glitching out, and literally it's really hard to follow one train of thought. It's almost impossible for your nervous system. So I do a lot of work with women and girls with ADHD, and I'm glad that I do, because believe it or not, your nervous system can be reprogrammed so that you feel clearer, have more focus, easier to be productive, feel safe and stable in your body. A lot of the time, a lot more, like we're creating new space in your body so that you can experience all of that. So the research recently says that women are better at hiding their ADHD symptoms than men. But so that's all coming out now. So the percentage of women newly diagnosed with ADHD between 23 and 49 years of age nearly doubled from 2020 to 2022. But I believe the statistics are only really the tip of the iceberg. And then according to scientists, when you have ADHD and it's not diagnosed, and then you're just struggling so hard, you know, to create the life that you want, it's so hard. It's like being a duck on the water and paddling like crazy. Nobody sees how hard you're paddling under the surface. So anxiety and depression turn into low self-esteem and self-loathing. And the risk for self-harm and suicide is 4 times higher for women with ADHD than for women without the ADHD, which is absolutely shocking in my opinion. And so so there was some interesting facts. So today, listen up, if you're a woman and listening to me, if you are between 20 and 75, so between 20 and 75, that's a huge age range. You may be in this generation of women who are either called aggressive, you're a tomboy, you're a scatterbrain, you're unproductive, daydreaming, disorganized, and all the rest. And you're likely very, very hard on yourself, and you likely have undiagnosed ADHD, and then you likely also believe there's something fundamentally wrong with you, which there isn't. But I do, and I'm not a doctor, by the way, so don't, I'm just telling you this to shed some light on these really shocking statistics for women. What I have seen over the decades that I've worked with women is that it's much harder for women even to create success and to hang on to success as well, because they copy the masculine way of creating success, which is all to do with disconnecting from their bodies and from their power center. So their power center remains broken, and they lose energy left, right and center, and the harder they work, then often the worse it gets. So when people work with me, often they find relief very, very quickly, and we can reset all of that. And I'm actually not saying this to impress you. I'm saying this to inspire you, because I've been on that journey myself. I had to learn everything the hard way, and it wasn't very nice, to say the least. So thanks for listening so far. This was a really, really big, long introduction, and I actually just wanted to give your subconscious mind some relief from the traumas and stresses that are potentially in there. So if you're driving now, I don't want you to listen to this anymore, because I'm going to take you into quick meditation, and you might fall asleep. So that's why I'm saying just be somewhere safe now, and then I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and take your attention deep in towards the back of your body. And there's a lot of stillness in the back of your body. It's very cooling, calming, neutral, and still. And then I want you to take your attention further down. So you travel down, maybe down your spine, or maybe you catch the energy flow behind your body. Just imagine behind your body is supportive energy flow that's there to support you, protect you. It's like the universe has 2 big arms, and they are wrapped around the back of your being, your body. You can lean into it a little bit. Just let the universe protect you and cradle you. And then you take your attention even further down, further into your pelvic area, your legs, your feet, and down all the way into the center of Mother Earth, to a point of light. In the center of Mother Earth, imagine there's a point of light That's the point of infinite consciousness, infinite creation, infinite stillness, infinite restorative energy. And while you're there, you feel attracted to it. And it's just for you, not for anyone else. It's your light. And just allow your body to rest. If there's anything in particular, just one thing that's really bothering you today, just imagine pulling it out of your body, or imagine some fairy hands pulling it out of your body and leaving it there. Just throw it in the light where it's transmuted. Just let it go. You don't need it anymore. And then instantly you feel a little bit lighter. So if you think of a second thing that's been really triggering you or hassling you, that's too big for you, just leave it there and just dump it in its place. And then you can do a third thing, a third worry, maybe something that you always worry about. And you can go back to this meditation later on today and keep pulling out more things, releasing issues from your tissues. And some of those are not even from you, right? They're from your ancestors. Alright, so while you now feel all nice and quiet, I still want you to feel your bottom on the chair. I just want you to listen to my words. My subconscious mind is filled with light. I let go of all my parents' standards and ideals, and I create my own. I let go, I release all my parents and my ancestors' standards and ideals, and I create my own. I release all my friends' standards and ideals, and I create my own. I release all my peers' standards and ideals, and I create my own now. I release all my teachers and mentors' standards and ideals, and I create my own now. I release all confusion and indecision caused by split beliefs or splits in my subconscious. My subconscious is able to rest now. Rest and heal, rest and heal, rest and becoming whole again. So your subconscious got a message, it's starting to work, it's doing what you ask, and then I want you to travel back up in your body and just connect with the space behind your eyes. And then when you open your eyes, you can look back out onto life with soft eyes, and just knowing that this is your goal at life. There's only one you. You're unique. You're here to celebrate your own path. And in fact, it's your birthright to do it your own way, right? And I can say many, many other things about you, but you are a high value being. Just remember that. You are of high value. And so just let your subconscious mind release all those ideals and standards that were put into you over the course of your lifetime, so that it becomes easier for you to be your own authentic expression and be the blessing that you're meant to be. Just remember, the energy of authenticity is even more powerful than the energy of unconditional love. You're here to thrive, and the energy of drama is opposite to the energy of prosperity. And the energy of drama comes from unhealed trauma, right? So if you notice anything that's going on in your life, it's not going the way you want to, or you're struggling too hard, we can change all that. We can interrupt that pattern and heal it. So reach out and book in for a session with me, or do a breakthrough session where we can take a deep dive in your whole history, and I'll put the links below the video. But for now, thank you for tuning in, and I really appreciate that you are in my community, and for everyone who's worked with me in the past, I value you so much, and you mean the world to me, and I'm looking forward to being with you again next week. So I hope you all have a really wonderful restful week without drama this week. Bye for now.